It was a late evening, and Scootaloo was on her way home after had left Sweetie Belle's home after spending time with her today. But when she was about halfway through home, she heard some sounds, and she immediately recognized it was some pony that was flying around. She looked around, but at first she couldn't see any pony at all. But then she saw some pony flying behind some buildings and disappeared. First she thought maybe it was just another resident that's out flying. But it was about 9 p.m., and most ponies aren't even out this late. She wondered who could it be. So she looked around if she could hear more of the sounds, and she did get only a brief glimpse of who it could have been. But it was like no pony that she didn't even recognize. And after all, she recognized almost every pony that lives in Ponyville. But since it was dark, so maybe that's the reason why she didn't recognize it first. But eventually the figure vanished. So Scootaloo decided to just go home, and when she got home, she told her aunts, Lofty and Holiday, about this mysterious figure. She tried to describe as best she could, but it seems that despite it was dark, it was almost unable to do any much perfect description. But at least there was some pony that was flying, and both her aunts believed it was just a Pegasus out for a night flight, which is not really much uncommon, depending on what type of occupation they have. So Scootaloo actually decided just to forget about it and move on. The next day, when she went to school with her best friends Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom, she did brought up the topic, and she said that some pony was flying around last night when she was on her way home. Sweetie Belle was curious and even asked who it could have been, but Scootaloo said she had no idea. It was like no pony that she really recognized. Maybe it was a new pony town, Apple Bloom said with a smile. That could be, but I haven't heard of any pony moved into Ponyville though. I mean, not recently. And it could have just been some pony that we know, but just it was dark, so I couldn't tell who it was, said Scootaloo back with a smile. Maybe if it's just another, a local, said Sweetie Belle. Could be. But with that, they dropped the topic to something else. But throughout the school day, Scootaloo couldn't stop thinking about this. She wondered who this particular mysterious pony could have been. But she didn't have to worry because only about a few days later, when she was actually on her own way home again, she saw this figure, but this time it wasn't even in the air. He was walking around. And she saw it wasn't just a Pegasus, because she immediately recognized the wings. It wasn't an average Pegasus or alicorn wings. It was a bat pony. She wondered what a bat pony was doing in Ponyville of all places. She knows that the bat ponies are in a service for Princess Luna as her personal guard. Well, not maybe every single bat ponies are, but she was wondering what this particular bat pony was doing here. And he saw her, and he smiled and said hello, and she said hello back. And she asked him what he was doing in Ponyville, because she never seen him here before. I'm sorry. My name is Onyx, and I'm actually thinking of moving here, but I haven't really, decided yet. So is that why I saw you last time? Wait, you saw me last time? Yeah, you were flying up there, she pointing it behind some buildings. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry if I scared you. No, I wasn't scared, but just curious. But why do you want to move here? Oh, You see, I wanted to move to some more calmer, more quiet place. Oh, so where you live is a very loud, noisy sounds community? Not really. It's like Ponyville, but just I wanted a new place to live. I wasn't kicked out or anything. I just wanted a new place to live. I mean, explore, see new places. Yeah, something like that. How do you know? My parents are like that. Oh, yeah, they're like adventures. Travel to places where no ponies hasn't even been before, or even want to go to. They probably seen a lot of things that even I can even imagine. Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, by the way, who are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Scootaloo. Scootaloo. Wait, one of the Q Crusaders? Yeah, that's me. Wait, you heard of us? Yeah, almost everybody knows about the Q Crusaders. I mean, how much you're willing to help others to find a Q mark. I mean, it's incredible duty. I mean, it's an honor to meet one of my favorite heroes. Wait, your hero? Scootaloo blushed because, first of all, this is the first time any pony actually ever referring her as their personal hero. The most of the ponies that I probably think of is like Twilight and her friends or Rainbow Dash being as a Wonderbolt and all, but this was the first time. Oh, well, it was nice to meet you though, but I'm sorry, I had to go home. My aunts are waiting for me. Don't worry. I'll probably see you around. Yeah. But when she got home, she did telling her aunts about it. They were surprised after hearing a bad pony was a, was in the area. But they'd never even heard of any bad ponies living in Ponyville or even heard of if anyone's gonna be living there. But Scootaloo did mention that Onyx, which his name is, hadn't even decided yet. He had apparently been looking around for a place to live. And Ponyville had been turned out to be one of his favorite places. And the next day when she went to school, she did telling her friends about this. They were even surprised at hearing now they know the fact it was a bad pony. But even Sweetabelle asked, was he handsome? Was he the same age as us? And it turned out he was actually around the same age, maybe just 1 year older. But then Bloom thought, wait, if he is around the same age as us, isn't it even allowed for him to live by himself? That was another thing that even both Sweetabelle and Scootaloo also thought about. You know, you're right. I mean, even bad ponies are like us. They shouldn't have been allowed to live by themselves. I mean, it's not like we wouldn't even be allowed to live our own, said Sweetabelle. That's good point, said Scootaloo. Maybe he's just looking around while his family are also moving here. He didn't even say precise, but just him. So, but for next few days, every time when Scootaloo was either out for a walk or had left Sweetabelle's or Sweet Apple Acres going home, she was hoping to either encounter more of Onyx. For some reason, that didn't even happen. After about a week or so, she not even saw him anymore. So, so she thought maybe Onyx had decided not to live in Ponyville with his family. But one day, it's a big surprise happened at the school. Class, we have a new student here today, said Mrs. Shirley. You can come in now. And then a young colt walked in. More correctly, a bad pony. Wait, is that Onyx? Asked Sweetabelle to Scootaloo. That's him. So it turned out his family moved here anyways. You can sit right over there, behind Scootaloo. And from that day, many of the other classmates actually talked to him to want to know more about him, like where he's from, who he lives with, and why they want to live in Ponyville, and stuff like that. He easily made a lot of friends. But there were a few of the Phillies that actually started to seems to have a crush on this new young colt. But including Scootaloo. But Scootaloo didn't realize her feelings towards Onyx until much later on. But she was just at first more as a friend. But one day, or at least particularly one evening, when Scootaloo was sitting on a cloud just by herself, she was just thinking about her family, about her parents, and hoping to see them one day soon, when she heard a voice. Oh, Scootaloo, I didn't expect to see you here. Oh, Onyx, hi. Uh, what are you doing here? Bad ponies. I have to say I couldn't sleep, so I decided to take a night flight. What about you? I mean, it's not even that late, right? I think it was about 10 p.m. or so. Why? Not any nothing particular. And for me, yeah, I couldn't sleep either, so, and I was mostly thinking about my family. Something troubling you? Not really. It's not nothing serious. I just missed my parents. I haven't seen them in a couple of months now. I mean, even if I want to reach down to them, they're probably like out of reach. They're probably somewhere deep in the jungle, somewhere without knowing exactly where they are. So even if I want to send a letter, they probably won't even get it. So yeah, I hear you. So how is otherwise things for you though? Your family and oh yeah, well they are. My parents always busy traveling around, exploring. And my aunts, well, they're the ones who take care of me. Yeah, they're actually doing good. Are your aunts both sisters? Oh no, only one of them is actually my actual aunt, but my aunt is dating a mayor. So I get it. And that's actually very nice though. You know, yeah, they're both nice and really kind. Can be strict sometimes, but families need to be that. I hear you. Even though my family can be very strict, said Onyx. Yeah, for that reason, they bonded actually quite well that day. And from time to time, it happened that they ran into each other during the evenings or like that. And one time, even Scootaloo actually invited Onyx and his family over for dinner, which her aunts suggested. And they all have a good time. It was around this time when Scootaloo started realizing her true feelings for Onyx. Because she knew there were a few other Phyllis at the school who had a crush on Onyx, but Onyx hadn't even shown any form of interest in romance to any pony. But one day when he did overhear Scootaloo talking to Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom about potential crush on some pony. Scootaloo did admit she did have a crush on Onyx, but since she said, I don't think he's interested in me in that way. From what I heard, there are a few other fellas at school and that same thing, a crush on him, but he hasn't even shown any form of interest in any of them. So he probably wouldn't even think the same thing about me. How would you know that? Said Apple Bloom, but a little bit surprised. I mean, you're sweet, kind, generous, and all. Yeah, but how do you know if it even like me, though? But Sweetabelle just jumped in and said, You know, you don't even know for sure if you don't really think about it. Have you ever thought of what he's telling? Well, I mean, it's, I'm kind of a bit scared. I mean, you need to tell him at least. I mean, you won't even know for a fact if you don't ask him or telling him before it's too late, or you never know. Scootaloo thought her friends had a point about it. So, a couple of days later, when she ran into Onyx in one evening, she did confess. And, surprise to her, he did like her the same way because she is the one that he has spent a lot more time with since he moved to Ponyville. Even though he spent a lot of time with some of his other friends like Rumble and Button Mash. But Scootaloo is the one of the he spent most time with. And so they decided to be a couple. And it didn't take long for every pony in school to know this, even though other fillies felt a little bit sad that they lost a chance, but at least they were happy with Scootaloo. There were at least a few fillies that was a little jealous, but eventually they moved on to something else. But during this particular time, one day when Onyx heard from his parents that they had decided maybe to go back home, when he heard this, wait, are you just saying we are moving back home? His parents like, moving back home? No, 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 no. I'm going back to our original home. Just from work. Oh, I thought we all were. Why would we all go? I mean, we all like it here. We have made new friends, and I mean, you have your girlfriend here. Yeah, that's true. I just, I was just a bit worried. That's all," said Onyx to his family. Even Onyx did mention this to Scootaloo. At first, he's just like, "Wait, are you moving?" "What? No, 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 no. I thought so first myself, but it turned out just my dad had been given offered an opportunity for work back home, so he's going to stay there for a while, and well, the rest of the family stay here." "Oh, yeah, I thought so too. You know, if that would have been the case if I had to go back home, I would have protested right away to my family. I mean, I have made so much friends here, but especially most of all, you." "Me? Yeah. Ever since I first met you, I thought that you would have been something special." "Me special? I don't think about that. I mean, I don't know if I'm that special. Well, maybe not, but you're special to me, though." That she gave him a kiss. Even though they had just started dating, it happened that they actually went on just flying around in the evenings or even have picnics together. But there were some setbacks when they weren't able to see each other. It's because most of the time when Onyx had to help around at his family home, looking after his younger siblings and all that, which she didn't mind. But Scootaloo sometimes wondered if there was any potential that she would lose him. Because it happened one time that he saw her, that she saw him talking to another filly in town. How they were just walking, laughing, and they're just having a good time. But she knows that deep down in her heart, it was just that they were just that, friends. They were bonding over to be friends. And as time went on, eventually they're getting older. When they both have finished school, Onyx actually was considered even to join the Night Guard to protect Luna. But eventually he decided not to. Because he realized he might have to be away from home more often or longer periods. And he didn't want to do that. Even though they had to consider that if Scootaloo would move to Canterlot so they can be together. But she didn't want to leave her friends and her own family back home. So they made a compromise. Instead of from being a guard to Luna, since Twilight was still living in Ponyville and they had no intention to move. And since Twilight actually had been offered to have her own guards, and she actually even offered a position as a guard to Onyx, but only if he went to the basic trainings, which he accepted immediately. So he did went to the Royal Academy in Camelot for a while to train. And after he finished his training, he was the first transferred to the guard under of Luna, just for about a couple of months, so that he get the basic more experience before being permanent transferred to Ponyville. And during this particular time, Scootaloo and Onyx actually even got engaged. He did ask her out on one date to celebrate their anniversary, which he did propose to her. She was happy. They decided to have a small wedding. They just invited some close friends and family in Ponyville. And they had a great time. They even went to Las Pegasus for about a week for the honeymoon. They had just a great time there. But then, just about 2 years after they got married, they actually got to receive the news they were expecting the first child. They were even having a daughter, a pony, bat pony hybrid. They were so excited to be parents at this time. 3 years later, they even announced they were having the second child. They even had a boy. And now, both Scootaloo and Onyx were more happier than ever. Not only to have a family, but to be married by the one they loved the most in the whole world. They're just really happy. But there were at some point that for Scootaloo, she did wonder, how would it been things been if she never confessed her true feelings for Onyx? Would she still have been with him? Like, if she never confessed her feelings for him, would he have taken the opportunity to confess his feelings for her? That was one thing that she never actually thought of at most. Because she couldn't even imagine a life without Onyx. He is truly a gentle cult. Protects her and the family from any danger. And this is how Onyx and Scootaloo from a true love got a big family together. The end.